Hello everybody, I am Hoardergamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I want to thank you all for watching, and we got an awesome show tonight. We got 2 comic book reviews, we've got the future of comics, we also got some toying around to do, and yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, Are You Game? That's actually what I call the segment where we talk about video games. So, that's something new. That's something new and exciting right there. Okay, first up, our first review this week is Worldtree #1 by James Tinian and give me 1 second here, and Fernando Blanco. Worldtree is screwed up. It's an intense book. It's about concepts like the dark web and like internet Nazis, things like that, basically. So many years ago, apparently in 1999, was something called the Undernet. And a group of very smart hackers, I guess, put it together, or they found out it existed at least. And something called the Worldtree, I guess, was meant to stop it from, I don't know if it becomes sentient or what. It's a little confusing, but it's very good. The lead character's brother goes on a digital rampage, and he goes around like house to house, I guess, of a number of different blocks, and ends up killing 60 people. The way he does it is pretty unique. He actually looks really friendly and everything like that, so he gets the drop on people and immediately shows them his smartphone. And this visual image with audio, whatever it is, basically freaks out the person in every possible way, and it's almost like it stuns them. And as that happens, he's stabbing people, he's slicing their throats, and he's a teenager. And after this happens, you see a young woman, she's on the cover there, who doesn't like to wear clothes at all. Watch this on a laptop, and she's smiling as she's watching these murders. So then you have the lead character and his girlfriend that are about to go and meet, I guess it's a family get-together type of thing, and the younger brother is going to be there, this mass murderer. And they find out on the cell phone, when she looks at her cell phone, that the lead character's brother is this mass murderer. So then he goes to the police and says, I need to see my brother, and this sheriff or whatever takes him there and says, we're holding him. It looks like he's killed 60 people. And it's all this, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I got to admit, there's always the suspension of disbelief. But the idea that this, 14-year-old is going to use a cell phone in order to kill 60 people, it seems like a number that's just a little bit too high for believability. Otherwise, I think it's great. I think the book is really great. I think it's frightening and terrifying. The young lady who doesn't like, wearing clothes, I think she's sworn off wearing clothes. I think that's the thing. Because she's almost not wearing a stitch. As the British would say, she's wearing not even a stitch of clothing. Well, she goes and approaches the young serial killer, and he's like, did I do a good job? It was a job he was doing. This was his purpose. And she says, yes. She shows him a terrifying image from her phone and then shoots the kid in front of the kid's brother in the prison. And before that, she played something on her phone that screwed with the minds of the deputies and all the other cops in the building, and she just shot them in the head one by one. So she is scary. We don't really know her deal. Apparently she does want the Undernet to do its thing, but we're not exactly sure what that is yet. It sounds like it's just mass chaos. But yeah, Worldtree 1 is really good. I give it props too for being unique. It's got this very bizarre vibe to it. Because, you know, the lead character is a hacker, at least a former hacker. I'm sorry, not the lead character. My apologies. So there's another character in the background who you find out was working on this whole Worldtree thing. And there's a picture of all these people he worked with years ago, back in like 1999. I assume the comic takes place in present day. So I do need to take a look at that picture again, though, to see if young lady who doesn't like clothing is in that picture younger. So I should have done that. I should have taken a look. I'm not going to take the time right now out of this review. But yeah, that'll be interesting if she was part of that group. I'm guessing she was. She might be why everything is gone, you know, haywire. But yeah, Worldtree 1 is really good. James Tynion, a very good writer. I really liked his stuff on Batman. I like a lot of his stuff, actually. Something is Killing the Children is one of my favorite horror books, and that's also by James Tynion. Oh, also, too, you have to say James Tynion IV, my good man! Because it's actually James Tynion IV, and I always like to say my good man after that. Although here it just says Tynion, so that's interesting. But yes, so first book we reviewed today, Worldtree, very good. And creepy, and William Gibson-like, very good stuff. And the kid's name is, like, I think, Gibson Lane, the kid who does the killings. So, yeah, there's a whole craziness in this book that's awesome and very digital. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, everybody, that's our first review, Worldtree. Now, are you game? I know I am. So, now we talk about video games. And there's a number of things we're going to talk about. But first off, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I'll say it again. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Jedi Fallen Order is, I think, one of the best Star Wars games to come out in many years. I thought it was awesome. And the reviews now are coming out for Survivor, and it looks like it's being beaten in, like, every possible way. Like, it is absurd. I have two extremely brief reviews here that I just wanted to read, just to give you an idea, a taste of what we're looking at. So, here's Dan Stapleton at IGN. If Respawn makes a third game like Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, it'll complete the best Star Wars trilogy in 30 years, hands down. So that's how good this game is. Okay? And then we have Game Informer. Developer Respawn Entertainment clearly took a measured and thoughtful approach to analyze what worked and what didn't in its last Star Wars game, and Jedi Survivor feels like a worthy attempt at evolution. It captures the magic of Star Wars as well as anything in the current canon, and it's a stellar adventure in its own right. Okay? And they gave it 9.3 out of 10. IGN gave it 9 out of 10. And just for the hell of it, IGN Italy and IGN Spain, 8.7, 8, respectively. Okay? So, like, this game has been getting insane reviews, so that's very exciting. I'll actually be streaming it on Friday, as I'll be hosting the Doom Squad Gaming block party. It'll be twitch.tv/Hoardergamer, and I'll give that web address again later. So, but yeah, I really loved Fallen Order. I'm very looking forward to playing Survivor, but now I have to alert you. I have to do a public service announcement for everybody. Do not read or watch the review from GameSpot.com. Okay? Now let me tell you why. There are massive spoilers in there. Things I wish I didn't know. IGN hinted at things. GameSpot was like, here you go. Now you can see them. Here are the big bads. Named them. Also gave the background about one of them. Possibly the main one. So things that were obscured and very vague in IGN's really good review, here right in front of your eyes. Right in front of your eyeballs. And you're seeing the characters, they're talking. Spoilers. Now, obviously, once a game is about to come out, there's gonna be spoilers coming out. But a good review of a movie or game, comic, anything, should not ruin everything. I feel it shouldn't spoil everything. There's a difference between a review and a comprehensive overview. A comprehensive overview is you're going piece by piece, going through every single thing. I would argue the comic historian does a comprehensive overview of comic books. I do a review. None is better than the other. I would say the difference is a review should leave a little mystery. It shouldn't spell everything out. Just like with a movie review, you don't want to know the final moments. Like when you when you read a review or watch a review of something like Scream 6, you don't want in the first paragraph for them to say who the killers are. You know? To me, with a review, it's sort of common courtesy. And even Gene Siskel ended up spoiling a couple movies, and Roger Ebert sitting right by him was just floored and not happy. So, Super Hour Media, good to see you. Good to see you, hero. But yeah, everybody, if you're interested in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, definitely check out the IGN review. I would say check out the Game Informer review. I did the one that was written. I haven't watched it, but man, that GameSpot.com review, huge spoilers. And I'll reiterate it so you know how I feel. I wish I didn't see that review. It's not like they show you the final battle, but they tell you who the antagonists are and why they're doing what they're doing. And show them. Well, in a horror movie, you would never want to do that, hero. You would never want to do that in a horror movie. Like, I forgot who it was. I want to say it was the AV Club at The Onion decided to just, in one sentence, ruin the movie Mother by Darren Aronofsky with one sentence. One sentence. I'm not going to say what that sentence is because it ruins the movie. But I was just floored. I was like, why? Why would you do this? There's ways to explain that it's a crazy and confusing film, but it's meant to be. It was just the weirdest thing. If you take one sentence and you just decide I'm going to spoil everything. Are you going to say any spoilers? For what? Don't go saying spoilers, but spoilers for what? Spoilers for what? Hero and Mike, good to see both of you. Okay, so that's just the beginning of our video game talk. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Just about every outlet, from Game Informer to IGN to GameSpot to like, this person does video game videos.com. Basically did a 10 or 15 minute video about Tears of the Kingdom, talking about all the cool features, showing how you can actually, two things are really neat. I really like actually. You have a kind of blue medallion, and if you drop the blue medallion somewhere, that is where you respawn when you die. Also, if you end up falling off a sky island, you can respawn back on that sky island with that blue coin. So I thought that was really cool. There's still going to be checkpoints like usual, but you'll have this coin on you that at just about any time in the game you can drop on the ground, and that becomes your spawn point. I was like, that's really clever. Plus, when you do a design, when you build, like, as you might have seen, airships, rafts, hot air balloons, any of that, you could save the designs. You don't have to memorize them or anything. There's a way to save those templates. I thought that was really cool too. So I'm very much looking forward to, well, I think most of us are looking forward to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm also looking forward to it even more than the original, because I did not love the constantly breaking marzipan weapons. I liken it to marzipan, like that, you know, the candy. Like you hit something with the sword just shatters. But they found a way around that. You're able to basically forge another weapon by combining it. I don't think I used the right term for that, but basically you combine that into a super weapon that can take a lot more, you know, usage before breaking, plus it does a lot more damage. So I like that a lot. So they definitely listened to people who didn't like the constantly breaking weapons. And they wanted to find a way to keep that, but make everybody happy. And I think it was a really good idea. Also, it's supposed to run rather well, but all of these demos that people played were mostly on Sky Islands. It wasn't on really dense areas on like the grasslands. I don't know what you want to call that part of Hyrule. For right now, I'm like, okay, so that's the Sky Islands, grasslands at the bottom, mountains, things like that. Because, you know, I'm using like regular Legend of Zelda type locations. Graveyard, tombstones and stuff. Yeah, okay. Hero, I can see the icons that appear on my screen that you've typed. That I can see. That I can see. Ever going to be a multiplayer Zelda game? That would be a cool... Yes, there was one. It was like 4 links or something. That's not the name of it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember it. But there was a multiplayer Zelda game. Yeah, the Game Boy GameCube Zelda game was multiplayer, yes. And I believe it was like 4 links. I think they had different colored hats and outfits. Like there was the one in the green, one in blue, one in red, I think. So, 4 Seasons, I guess, was the name of that one. So see, you already got what you wanted. But sadly, Hero, you may not have the equipment to play it. Because it was like a GameCube or a Game Boy game. They might have had a 3DS version. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Yes, you could say then all players are linked. That was so over top what I just said. That's why I winked. I had to wink to let everyone know that that was completely absurd what I just said. That competes with my worst puns. Bravo. Oh, bravo, sir. Okay. So that's Legend of Zelda. This one's gonna shock you, everybody. We got possible Gotham Knights news. Now, I held out hope because I know the history of Warner Brothers Montreal and DLC. I believe they did DLC for Arkham Knight featuring Batgirl. They did a really cool, I think it was Heart of Ice they called it, Mr. Freeze DLC for Arkham Origins. And I'm pretty sure there's some other pieces they've done. I just don't know the names. Oh, they might have done the short story DLCs for like Red Hood, Harley Quinn, Nightwing, that are in Arkham Knight as well. The real short, like 20 to 30 minute scenarios. So it's possible they did those too. Anyway, and I wish I could find out where it is. It might have been a small outlet. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Patrick Redding of WB Montreal was asked about the DLC, or story DLC specifically, and he said something to the effect of the rich history that Warner Montreal has and the story DLC they've done before, and something to the effect of draw your own conclusions. Not saying that yes, it's coming, or no, it's not, but it was either him or one of the other people at one of the devs at Warner Montreal. And I've searched for 3 hours on YouTube. I cannot find the video. I could swear it came out around San Diego Comic-Con last year, but I damned if I can find it. But based on that and their history, even, if I dreamed that interview up or something. I don't think I did. It's possible. I can't guarantee it. But regardless, the stuff they've made is there. So I thought that, yes, there will be story DLC for this. Especially because one of the devs was on Twitter and said, we're not done with Gotham Knights yet. Couldn't say any more than that, but we're not done with it yet. So, what happens today? A Twitter picture of a man that's not explained. We don't know who it is. It could be Harvey Dent before he's Two-Face. It could be a version of Edward Nygma who becomes Riddler. We don't know. He's sitting at a table in it looks like the Gotham City PD, like an interrogation room. And Harley is there, the head of Clayface, not his entire body, just his head, and Mr. Freeze. All three of them are there, and there are 2 chairs that are pulled out. And as I mentioned in my tweet, Aaron Caboose said it was probably for Harley and Clayface, but Clayface is just a head. My theory is that in marketing, everything has a meaning and a purpose. Those 2 chairs being pulled out are going to signify possibly, I don't guarantee this, but possibly 2 other villains that could be part of this DLC. But we also have the not happy man sitting in a suit. And he has his hand like this to his head. But you can see enough of his head to see he's probably not Two-Face. And it's like, give me 1 second. I got to get the little writing that was up with it. 1 second, everybody. I do apologize. Because the quote is helpful. The quote is really damn helpful. I thought I took a picture of it right away. Okay, Gotham Knights. It should come up like immediately. Here it is. The big bads of Gotham Knights have gathered, but why? And one of them is someone we haven't even seen. The guy in the suit. So, yeah. It's very possible we have story DLC coming for Gotham Knights. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity allows the activation of a split-screen co-op multiplayer mode by clicking the left stick from the map. Oh, okay. Well, that's Hyrule Warriors. That's not Legend of Zelda. Do I own the Pot of Greed card? I have no idea what that is. I will say no. I will say no. But yeah, that's exciting, everybody. I didn't lose hope. I figured it would be at least 6 months after Gotham Knights came out that we would hear anything about story DLC. So, it's exciting. This is very possibly what they're doing. The artwork looks new. And I mean, showing a picture of Clayface's head in a jar, that's after the events of the game. That's not before. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy about that. And I think we have like 1 or 2 final pieces of gaming news. Oh, just one. Diablo 4, everybody. Diablo 4. 1 second here. And thank God, you know, we can talk about Diablo 4 without Lilith showing up. Without... Oh, shit. She's here. Hail, Mother of Sanctuary. Hail, Lilith. Mother of Sanctuary. We appreciate you and think you're awesome and stuff. Please don't, get rid of me. Oh, okay. She's gone. She's gone. It's okay. Good. Anyway, Diablo 4, as you know, is going to have the server slam starting on May 12th. And it's going to be 48 hours. You'll be able to fight a Shava again. If you beat a Shava at level 20, you'll be able to get this cool horse trophy. I got the name wrong. They use a different term, and I apologize. But this really cool, like, gilded claw. Gilded in gold. It looks awesome, and it hangs, like, off the side of your horse. It looks amazing. So you get that. You get to play all the different classes. Plus, importantly to me, it's normal drop rates that the game will have at launch, like legendaries and things like that. Plus, they put in a number of changes and fixes from what the beta was when we played the beta. So, all very exciting. And one of the devs did an interview this week where they talked about how once you get like to endgame, yes, it does get more expensive. You use gold in order to make changes to the Paragon board, and that can get a little bit expensive, but it can be done. You are able to. It doesn't completely lock you out. The big focus, though, was that at 1 through 15, there's no cost to change anything. So 1 to 15, no cost, and a very negligible cost from 16 through 50. And the idea that through 16 through 50, you should have some concept of what your build is going to be. So it was a really nice interview. It elaborated a lot more on that because that kind of information has been out, but there was a lot more elaborated on. And it was two of the devs from Diablo 4. So that was really cool. Okay, everybody. We are done. And I hope the answer to the question, are you game, is yes. Because I am always totally game to talk about games. Always. Okay, next up, it is time for us to toy around. And first up, we have one of the best looking April O'Neil figures I have ever seen, and reminiscent of the cartoon series from the 80s. Okay, the Pizza Monster. The Little Shop of Horrors type of plant. The Hare and the Tortoise. The restraining item. It's towards the bottom. It looks almost like a printer or something. That's a restraining item that holds her when she's like captured by the Foot Clan. The head that has the bandage on to basically, stop her from seeing where she is. Vern, the Vern figure, also has that type of head. So you have that part when they're taken hostage. Camera, multiple hands, the Hoarder, the Turtle Communicator. I think this is a great figure. This is actually like a celebration figure, the 100th NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure. And they did, I think, a bang-up job on April O'Neil. I don't know about that, but it's a really good April O'Neil figure with a lot of accessories. So, if I were to guess, the average NECA price right now with so many accessories is right about like 38 to 45. So I don't know exactly how much this will be, but I think it's a really cool figure. It's possible it has more accessories than a usual figure does. Although like something like Elf from the TV show Elf has a ton of accessories. So hard to say. And he's at that price. He's like $37 or so. But yeah, April O'Neil, I definitely wanted to show everybody that. I sent her back to New York. Okay, everybody. I believe these are Ultimate 7, I believe is the name of the company. Star Trek The Next Generation. This is Wave 2. Picard. Well, Guinan, Picard, and Worf. I didn't know if I wanted to go Picard, Worf, Guinan, but let's go in order. Guinan, Picard, and Worf. Now, one of the only issues here is that Guinan was in the first series. So everybody expected, 3 or 4 new figures. But Guinan was in the first series, so a little bit of a surprise there. I don't think it's a different outfit or anything even. I'm not sure. But look at this. You get the Backlith. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, and I'm sorry. I apologize. Multiple Worf heads, including a fierce Worf head. An awesome, huge gun. Okay. You get tea. Picard comes with a cup of tea, Earl Grey hot. And that's probably the worst Picard impersonation you'll ever hear. Also, it looks like he's got a little, coaster to put the tea on. This little square here. A fencing sword. I really like the accessories. Guinan comes with a whole mess of drinks from the bar. An extra head. But yeah, this is Series 2. Keep in mind, though, Series 1 isn't out yet. So these Ultimate 7s... I'm sorry, I think it's Ultimate Super 7, I think is the full term. Anyway, they're real behind on shipping. Like a lot of the Simpson figures, they're like, not seasons, but they're like series behind. So I don't know exactly when these will ship, but I really think that they look great. And I have better shots of the 2 new characters, or figures anyway, Picard and Worf. So give me 1 second here. Let me remove this. So here's Worf with the Backlith. Look at that facial sculpt. I think that looks really, really good. Now, keep in mind, these figures retail at $54.99. I think it's because of the level of detail and because of the likeness rights. Because they're like damn near perfect with the actors. So I believe it's the likeness rights as well as the amount of accessories you get with it. Because at the end of the day, the toy is plastic. And the more plastic you get with the toy, just like when you buy Legos, the more expensive it's going to be. But there's Worf. And Jean-Luc Picard. Look at that facial sculpt. Like, people are already saying, if they actually come out looking like this, these will be some of the best Star Trek Next Generation action figures ever. There he is holding the phaser. He also has alternate hands so he can engage. But yeah, I really like these a lot. Series 1, surprisingly, was Locutus of Borg with an insane amount of detail and still available for pre-order. Locutus of Borg, Commander Riker, and Lieutenant Commander Data. So that was Series 1, as well as Guinan. So the first series started with 4 figures. Okay. And those pictures are going to go where many pictures have gone before. Off my screen. Okay, everybody. It is time for us to delve into the future of comic books. How far into the future, you're asking? Well, the answer is 1 week from today. So, we have a number of cool things to show you today. Okay. Well, who's this gentleman? It's Batman fighting the Red Mask. And this is exciting, everybody. This is freaking issue 900 of Batman. So if you're going by legacy numbering, it's issue 900. Current issue 135. But by Legacy, it's issue 900. It's a special issue with, I want to say, 8 to 10 different covers. This is the basic version of the cover. You got Batman, you got Red Mask right there. So, but yeah, Chip Zdarsky's run has been excellent. Failsafe is honestly one of the best 6-issue story arcs of Batman in the longest time. It is so good. I believe Failsafe gets a, I think it's a hardcover treatment this month or next month. And it's honestly one of the scariest, nearly unstoppable villains Batman has ever faced. Well, we'll say antagonists. One of the scariest, unstoppable antagonists that Batman has ever faced. Also, the story is amazing, and it lets you know about Zurin R. Batman. And in case you don't know about that, well, you're in for a treat. Because it's insane. It is... There's no other great word for it. It's crazy. I had to be like, really? Wow. Okay, but that's Batman 900. This would be one of the biggest things next week, I would say. For anyone that's asking, what are the big books next week? This is one of them right here. And there's so many cool covers to choose from, too. Next up, I really like this cover, Shazam #1 by Mark Waid. Mark Waid has been just destroying everything in a great way. World's Finest is an excellent comic book. Okay? And here he's got Shazam, issue 1. So I'm very looking forward to this. I believe this is Dan Mora artwork. Another excellent artist on the cover here. And look at that. It's Billy Batson, but it's like everything that encompasses Billy Batson and Shazam. And this story arc, which has outer space dinosaurs and evil worms. It might have a certain special evil worm too, but it didn't quite say that. But yeah, Shazam #1 right here. I would say this is big too. And like I said, Mark Waid has been just on a roll recently with really good books. Okay, let me remove that. I love this cover. It looks like a movie poster. Peacemaker tries hard. So basically the concept here is a little bit of John Wick. Just a little. So Peacemaker is able to leave the Suicide Squad. So as soon as he does that, he ends up finding this adorable puppy. Or I guess it's a dog. I think it's more of a puppy though. And basically that's his friend, his buddy, his pal. Someone kidnaps the dog, a supervillain, and they basically do that to have control over or make Peacemaker do what they want. And apparently it's really bad stuff. So Peacemaker tries hard. Comes out next week as well. And Kyle Stark's a really good writer, so this should be exciting. This should be really cool. Okay, everybody. Now, if you have any ideas, any concepts, anything like that for upcoming episodes, any toy lines you want me to follow or check on, to give you an idea, I cover like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Lego, a lot of things. I cover a lot. But if there's a comic line, toy line, video game, you think I should cover, let me know. Let me know. Either put that into chat or in the comments. Okay. And finally, everybody, we have what I think is probably the hottest book this week. Dawn of DC, Green Arrow #1. Oh yeah, Funko Pops, definitely. Definitely. It's a little more difficult to cover those because they'll announce them, they'll come out 3 months later, and there's usually not a huge amount of info about them. There's a really cool, it's funny you mention that though, I'll bring it up right now. There's a really cool Funko Pop video game that has a lot of Universal Studio properties, and that looked neat. There was like a 2-minute trailer that came out earlier this week. And Jay Shockblast actually put out a really cool YouTube video showing the trailer. That looks neat. That reminds me of the quality level of Lego Dimensions, like the base game that came out. So that looked cool. I'm just worried about monetization and how they'll pull that off if you're buying each character separate or what. Doom, good to see you. How you doing, Doom? But yeah, that looked really cool. But now, the review of Green Arrow #1. First off, everybody, a great jumping on point. If you had any interest in Green Arrow, this is the time to grab a copy of issue 1. Okay? So, basically, it's like Oliver wakes up on Lian Yu, and he's like angry. He's like, oh God, not again. But everything is cosmic and screwed up and weird, and there are these like geometric configurations moving around, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? Okay? Then we cut to the I don't know, the Green Arrow family, I guess. So we got Black Canary, we've got Connor Hawk, and we have Arsenal, and they're fighting Riddler, Joker, and Penguin villains. Okay? And they're taking them down, and Cheshire Cat shows up. And Cheshire goes, kicks ass, and like the heroes start talking to her a little bit, and as she's walking away, Arsenal says, I know who you are. You were 2 years old when you shot your first arrow. And you realize that Arsenal realizes that Cheshire Cat is actually his daughter. It's this really cool, touching scene, and it's surprising as hell. It's really great. And then all of a sudden, with a creepy warning, she disappears. She disappears, and I believe it's also Arsenal that disappears. They're just gone. And as she's disappearing, she says, contact Amanda Waller. So, pretty wild. She ends up in this non-distinct, bizarre-looking future place where all of a sudden she's being attacked by manhunters. Okay? And one of the manhunters is about to get the drop on her, and a chainsaw goes through its head. Actually, chainsaw blades attached to an arrow. Oliver is in this place too, and he saves her. It's a really cool moment, and she's like, is that a chainsaw arrow? He's like, well, I have to work with what I have around me. And then you find out that for some reason, something or another doesn't want the Green Arrow family together, and will stop at nothing, even using like cosmic means to separate them and keep them separated. There's a little bit more, but I want to, not spoil everything for y'all. But I thought it was really good, and it is an excellent jumping on point for Green Arrow if you had an interest in it. I'm very interested to see what's going on. I want to know why manhunters are trying to keep them apart, and it should be very interesting. Also, Joshua Williamson, he did a long run on The Flash that was really good. I might be wrong, but I think he created the comic version of Godspeed. And the comic version is cool. I can't quite say that the CW TV version is, but for me, honestly, I really like the CW Flash, but one of the biggest missteps was how they handled Godspeed. I don't know. I'm not sure what I can say about it. But yeah, Joshua Williamson also writing Action Comics. Actually, wait, is it action or is he doing a different? Oh, my apologies. He's doing the actual Superman book. My apologies. And that's been great. I just reviewed the third issue, I think, last week. And that was really good too. So yeah, great jumping on point, great Green Arrow book, and I think you'll dig it. You know, if you like the character, if you like Oliver Queen, if you like Black Canary, I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, everybody, let me send this back to Star City. Not Starling City, but Star City. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I want to thank Doomkiller HD and Doom Squad Gaming for letting me borrow your YouTube channel. Thank you! Let's see, what do I have to say? I am honored to be the Doom Squad Gaming Member of the Week. And also, on Friday at 6 p.m. Central, I will be hosting the Doom Squad Gaming Block Party featuring Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, that URL is twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. And thank you, everybody, for watching this. Whether you did it live, whether it's at your leisure, at any point you want to watch, thank you. And I hope you all have a great week. And thank you very much for watching Hoarder's Comic Flex. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.